And live in studio, it's Fast Flicks with Speederman.
Hello everyone and welcome to Fast Flicks, the one and only superhero movie review show. I am your host, Speederman, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Jennifer Botley.
Movie time.
Let's hear it for Jen, guys. Alright, so this episode, we're going to take a look at a film that I thought was pretty well known, but contrary to what I thought, the producers told me that it's rather niche. We're going to take a look at the film known as The Batman. Now, I don't know how you feel about that, Jen, but I have a lot of thoughts on this film. Some good, some not so good. So before we get into the discussion here, Pete, if you could play Director Pete, if you could play a clip from the trailer, we'll take a look at it.
Who are you? The Bat Kill!
First land or for this land?
Watch one. Every day part for this land.
What was that?
Well, what are you waiting for? We'll review.
Yeah, what did you think?
Was that the right clip?
Of course it was.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
You watched this, right?
Yeah, totally I did. Shit. You know what, folks? I feel like I was talking a little too much last episode, so I think this time around, I'm going to hand the reins over to my lovely co-host, Jen, and she's going to give her thoughts on the movie first. Jen, if you could please say something.
Thanks, that's nice of you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so talking about, the Batman in this case, I think that it's important to just bring up, the rich cultural history of Nigerian cinema.
Yeah.
So, going back to the boom in the industry after the country got its independence in the 60s, and then, the second boom from the home video era, and, into this more current modern era where they're really outputting some quality things. It was just last year that a Nigerian film had won an award at Sundance. There's really more quality. So, they may have had troubled history in different spots. Just, I know, I believe at one point, piracy was a bit of an issue. But, since then, they've really become one of the major international film players,
Players, yeah.
Yeah, so, between America and India and, Nigeria, it's up there. So, I think it's important that we don't talk about African cinema as if it just, doesn't exist, It's really got a strong cultural presence, and, Nigerian films, Nollywood in particular, if you will, has a lot of
What about
influence.
the movie? What about the movie?
So getting to that, the movie here, this is ultimately a free on YouTube film about the Batman. This is definitely a different take on Batman. For one, this Batman has no qualms about killing. It is in the theme song even that he kills. And that's not something that, I feel like American audiences are used to with Batman. American Batman tends to really have the, don't kill code, and when he does kill, it's, a big deal. So I think it's an interesting take that in this one...
he does in most movies. He doesn't, want to in most movies, but no, in this one, he just goes for it. He sicks the bats on him. It's really something. The bats in the bats we saw in the suitcase. Right?
Yeah. He's his briefcase of bats.
Was that a suitcase?
If you will, huh?
Is that like a briefcase or something?
Yeah, like a briefcase.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
So what I was getting at before was don't look at this movie and think oh, this is the best that Nollywood has to offer, this is par for the course.
Is Nollywood like Hollywood, but for African people?
Sort of. So it is like a portmanteau of Nigeria and Hollywood, you know, but it's not like they're the only African country that makes movies, and it's not like
Yeah.
you know, it's they're the most prolific, like the most
Prolific,
not
yeah.
just in Africa but like in the world.
You know what, folks? What can I say? She took the words right out of my mouth. With our grading here, I'm proud to say that for the Batman here, I think I'm going to give this a solid 9 capes out of 5. I think it's a phenomenal film. I think everyone should check it out, and it has the potential to be a modern classic. Wouldn't you agree, Jen?
I mean, I feel like 9 feels really steep. I feel like 9 is pretty much like a cream of the crop film, and like I enjoyed this one personally, but it still had, you know, plenty of issues. I mean, you know, some of the writing was tough to follow. The Batman's cape is just kind of like a tarp. It's you know, there very clearly was not, you know, the most budget put into this film. Not that makes it a bad movie, but I don't think I'd give it any more than like a 5 or a 6.
Okay, well, you know what? I think you made a pretty good point there. So I think I'm going to bump it down to a 6, maybe a 7. I'm thinking 7.
Okay.
7, I'm thinking maybe 6. I'll keep it at a 6.
Okay.
And that's all we have for this episode of the show. I thank you all for watching this episode of my review of the Batman. Now, I'm going to give a special shout out to all the producers of the show. I think next time I should probably recommend the film. I'm thinking next time we're going to review The Dark Knight, and we're going to have our first ever special guest on the show. You heard it here first, folks. We're going to have Heath Ledger on. Heath Ledger is going to be on our show. I am so excited to tell you. Catch you all next time, and have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for watching.
We can't have Heath Ledger on the
Yeah,
show.
we can have him on. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It won't be fine. We can't have Heath Ledger on the show. Don't make
Why can't we have
promises
Heath on the show? We have the money. Don't sit here and tell me that we don't have the money. This studio has the money to get Heath on. It's not like Heath's doing anything right now. He hasn't been on a movie in almost a decade.
There's a very good reason why.